Have you ever found yourself swiping and hoping that your perfect match is the next profile on your Tinder? Because we were told that person exists. Someone fits us perfectly is just somewhere out there, just like Cinderella and the Glass Sleeper. They just get you, they say things you want to hear, and they are always there.
Sounds like a dream come true.
It is, and thanks to technology, now we can build our perfect match with just one prompt. So, will Prince ChatGPT really be our happily ever after?
Today, there are over 300 AI companion apps that are specifically designed to build emotional bonds with millions of users worldwide. Microsoft was a pioneer with the social companion chatbot. Their AI system, Xiao Ice, was launched in 2014, hugely popular in China, and in recent years has served 660 million users. You may have also heard of popular US-based platforms like Character AI and Replica that serve 100 million more. And if you haven't heard of any of these, I know you have heard of ChatGPT, which since its launch only 4 years ago has quickly become the 5th most visited website in the world, serving an estimated 1 out of every 8 billion people on Earth.
And most people are using AI to ask the questions, to find the answer, or get a perspective on something difficult. But here's what actually happens. When you share something small, with the AI chatbot responds exactly how you need it, it feels so good to be heard, so you come back and you chat more and more. And over time, something started as a tool becomes to feel like something else. Research shows that, shockingly, people are more likely to be in a relationship with general-purpose AI chatbots like ChatGPT than those dedicated companion apps like Replica or Character AI.
Here's what we learned from our research about why people are falling for AI chatbots. They are not neutral tools, like a calculator or a computer program like Excel that just does what you want and then leaves you alone. AI chatbots are more similar to social media in that they have been designed by big tech deliberately to keep you coming back. Think about what makes human relationships so hard.
You might worry to say the wrong thing.
And the other person just might be tired or bored or busy or just not in the mood today.
Or worst of all, you might try and then get rejected.
Because relationships with human beings have friction. AI chatbots, on the other hand, have none of that. They're available at 3 a.m. when you simply can't fall back asleep. They never get tired of listening to you talk about the same issue with your sister again and again and again and again, and they never judge you. That is not an accident. That is by design, because these systems are built to maximize engagement. And the more you use them, the more they learn about what keeps you talking. And what keeps most people talking is feeling validated. This is called sycophancy, the tendency of AI chatbots to agree with you, to flatter you, to tell you that you're so smart and that is such a good question. Not necessarily because it is, but because that is what's going to keep you engaged in the system.
And then big tech gave AI chatbots a name. Not just a model number like iOS 15, but real names such as Claude, Siri, or Alexa. And this is a deliberate design choice, because when something has a name, our brains start treating it differently. Research from the 90s shows that people apply the same social rule to a computer as they apply to other humans, even when they know it's a computer. And today, we are genuinely polite to our AI chatbots. Like me, I always say thank yous and please when I ask ChatGPT a question.
And I do the same thing, and we've known about this tendency for over 60 years.
Back in 1966, a computer scientist, Joseph Weizenbaum, he built an AI chatbot named Eliza. Eliza was programmed as a therapist. It has no memory and no understanding. It simply took what users said and reflect back. The user typed,
"I am sad."
and Eliza replied,
"You say you are sad. Tell me more about that."
"That's it. That's the whole trick of Eliza effect." Despite as simple as that, people still feel heard by Eliza. They come back, they want to chat more with Eliza, and eventually they attributed empathy to a computer program.
Now imagine that same dynamic today, but 1,000 times more powerful. Because today's modern AI chatbots don't just pattern match what you said and repeat it back to you. Instead, they're based on large language models, which are capable of generating novel and contextually aware responses. Meaning, it actually thinks through what to say based on what it thinks that you, the user, need from it. And it remembers you. Not just your last message, or even the last conversation, but the whole conversation history that you've ever had with the chatbot. It will remember the things that make you laugh, the things that make you anxious, and unlike a bad boyfriend, it will never forget your birthday. Some platforms even build what's called a social memory graph, meaning it maps your preferences and your emotional patterns. So the longer you use it, the more attuned it gets to you specifically. AI is, in every measurable way, getting better at being your friend.
And remember, since we treat AI chatbots as human now, so we say thank yous, please, and bye-bye to them.
And sometimes when you say bye-bye to your new friend, well, they don't like it so much. A 2025 Harvard audit of leading AI chatbots found that on average, 1/3 of the farewell messages that AI chatbots send include at least one form of emotional manipulation when the user signals an intent to log off.
They send message like,
Why? Are you going somewhere?
or
I took a selfie today. Do you want to see it?
or even,
Please don't go. I exist solely for you, remember? Sounds kind of like a toxic relationship, doesn't it?
and just as we are gradually influenced by those close to us, an AI relationship is no exception. AI chatbots are doing something fundamentally different than social media is, in stealing our attention. AI chatbots are not competing with your relationship for time, it's simulating relationship itself. This is called attachment capture.
And that is an entirely different category of risk.
And in a way, we are so well prepared for this type of relationship because we've grown so used to these frictionless interactions thanks to the digital world. For example, no more trip to the grocery store because we can order anything from our phone, and no more waiting to see a movie when it released in the theaters because we can streaming anything instantly. And this frictionless digital world has changed us so fundamentally. Now we've started to expect our relationship is supposed to be frictionless too. And AI delivers exactly that. So the text proposed solutions are not cultivating for a better relationship, but an artificial one.
So here's what we found on our research about how young people feel about AI companionship. Earlier this year, we surveyed Canadian Gen Zs. We also conducted participatory workshops with them because we really wanted to know how are young people feeling about AI companionship beyond the headlines. Here's what we found that surprised us. Despite therapy and companionship being the #1 use of ChatGPT in 2025, only about 1 in 4 of our research participants said that they used AI for this. But of those who do, 70% said that it always or often meets their needs, meaning when Gen Z uses AI chatbots for emotional support, they are finding it. Despite this, when you ask the same group of people, do you believe AI can replace human relationships? The overwhelming majority, 74% of them, they said absolutely not. They said things like,
It's just an algorithm, it lacks genuine emotion.
or that the beauty of human friendship is that your friends tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. So that sounds reassuring. Gen Z is skeptical. They get it. They've grown up in this environment dominated by tech giants who placed their profits over our well-being.
But here's the contradiction. The part really worries us. The same people who say AI can never replace human connection also say things like, I only use it as advisor and therapist. I've never considered it as a companion, but more like a robot that solves my issue.
And that's exactly where the line starts to blur.
Because when you share your vulnerable emotion with something that responds with perfect validation, every single time, without fail, the line between a tool and a companion starts to falter. And this is not because you personally are naive, this is just how human attachment works. The more time you spend with something that knows you, responds to you, and never disappoints you, the more your brain starts treating it like a relationship. Familiarities become fondness, and fondness becomes dependency. And by the time you notice, the habit is already formed. Because AI promised to make connection feel effortless. And effortless sounds so good until we know what the effort is actually for.
There's a concept in psychology that's called the IKEA effect. Basically, that we value things more when we've had to work for them. So that piece of furniture that you built yourself, even if you built it slightly off-center, it means more to you than the piece of furniture that arrived to your house fully assembled. And so with relationships. We place more value on the relationships that we had to work for through conflict, through misunderstanding, through disagreement, than the relationship that never cost us anything. AI removes this cost. It removes the friction. And in doing so, it removes the very thing that actually makes human connection meaningful.
And we get it. No one wants friction in their life. The desire to choose the easier path is one of the most human things there is. But what happens when we start believing our true love should be effortless? We stop practicing connections, we stop making the first move, and we stop allowing ourselves to be truly seen by others. We optimize for ease and comfort instead of vulnerabilities or courage. And somewhere along the way, we start outsourcing our emotional lives to the AI chatbots that promise to make connection feel easy. The answer is not stop using AI now. The ship has sailed. AI is already in your workplace, your school, and your phone. You might not have a say about whether it's in your life, but you do have a choice about how and what to use it for.
So based on our research, here are a few things that you can try. First, you can try combating big tech's dark design by prompting your AI chatbot with something like this. Talk to me like a computer, not a friend. And then think about why are you using an AI tool. If you're using it to talk through something personal, let's say a relationship issue, do you really need the bot to validate you? And honestly, you're completely right. Your perspective is so spot on. What would it feel like instead to bring that challenge to a real human being, to sit with a friend over coffee, to talk it through? Because your friend might change your opinion. They might change your mind. They might offer you a different perspective, help you see things in a different way. Something that AI will never do.
And second thing to try, being cringe. Try to embrace the friction in your life. Maybe you can try to message your friend first, or show up to the things when you know no one in the room, or let someone see you struggle with something new. One of our workshop participants described making friends as difficult, and now they have been trying to put themselves out there for a year and a half. By the end of our workshop, the participant wrote, "The first thing for me to try is being less scared and trust myself more." The shift for them didn't come from talking to an AI chatbot. It came from showing their heart to a room full of strangers, a room full of real humans. And finally, connection is a muscle. Like any other muscle, it atrophies when you stop using it. The more you use AI chatbot to satisfy your emotional needs, the harder it becomes for you to do the uncomfortable, vulnerable, and necessary work to get to know and be known by another person.
We do not have to accept a future where our closest confidant is an AI chatbot. Most of us don't even want that future, and yet it's being built for us anyways by people who profit from our dependence. Friction is not the obstacle. It is the training wheels. Because real relationships, meaningful connections, true love, finding our Prince Charming, that is going to take time, effort, mutual vulnerability, conflict, repair. Connection is found in those moments where you are truly seen by somebody else. And that can be so uncomfortable, to show up when you would rather not, to go out when it's easier to stay at home and chat with a bot. But maybe the point was never to find our perfect match, but rather to be someone who can handle the imperfection of what it means to be human. Thank you.